Hello and welcome to the Peliqan demo, a data collaboration platform. I will first explain why we've built the platform and then I'll dive into a live demo. So what are the challenges that we face as a business user today? As a business user, you want to be data driven and you can use BI tools to visualize the data, but in many cases, having a read-only view to the data is just not enough. What if you're looking at customer data and you want to add an extra column in a table to just categorize your customers, because maybe you want to make a distinction between VIP customers and normal customers and the data is just not available yet. Adding a column in a BI tool is not straightforward. So an alternative to that could be to download the data, create a data dump, and then open that data in Excel, where you could add your own column, add the data, and apply all the changes that you want to do. But the problem is that this is not repeatable. What if you want to do that same exercise every week? In that case, you would have to go through all the different steps every individual week. Another problem is that lots of the data that you might need is actually in SaaS applications. CRM data could be in Salesforce, support data could be in Jira or Zendesk, so it's really hard to get access to that data. In a best case scenario, the data is available in a database or even in a data warehouse, but you might have read-only access to the data, which still does not allow you to add your own column and make some changes before you get to the data analytics that you really want to achieve. You could of course build a full end-to-end ETL or ELT data pipeline, and that works, but it's really complex. So as a business user, you have to rely on data engineers, and they are typically overworked and they simply cannot answer every data question within the company. So what's the solution? The solution is Peliqan, which allows you to access data directly from any source. That could be a database like MySQL or Postgres. It could also be a data warehouse like Snowflake or Amazon Redshift. And even it could be data that's still residing in a SaaS application. You could access that data directly from Salesforce, HubSpot, Jira, Zendesk, and many other SaaS applications. Once you make your connection in Peliqan to the source, you have direct access in a spreadsheet-like environment. This means that you can see the data and work with the data as simple as you're used to working with data in Excel or in Google Sheets. You can even make changes to the data, and that is even possible when you have read-only access to the source, because in Peliqan all the data becomes a virtual copy. So any change that you make, whether it's editing the data, adding some rows, adding some columns, that all happens in your own virtual copy. So it will be up to date with the source at any point in time, and still you will be able to apply your own changes to the data, as simple as working in a spreadsheet. For power users, there's also an SQL editor or query editor inside the product. With the query editor, you can apply SQL on anything, which means that you can write queries, select statements that access any of the data sources. And you can even combine that. So you could write a query that's joining data from Snowflake with real-time data from HubSpot or Salesforce, for example. So you can write any type of query, and the result of that query becomes another virtual table that you can immediately share with business users. You can also combine data without using the SQL editor. So as a business user, I can actually join or combine data from different sources in this very easy interface. For example, I could grab some customer data from my CRM and I could join it with data from my support desk system, in this example Jira. And the result is that I immediately have a new view that shows me the data of my customers combined with help desk information that I have available from Jira. Now, if the data is not exactly the way it should be, you can apply transformations. And there's different ways of doing that without actually building a data pipeline. Instead, one of the ways you can do it is by simply working with formulas. It's very similar to what you're used to in a spreadsheet. You can define formulas that take data from different tables and different columns, and you can convert it to whatever format you need. You could even apply conditional statements, such as in the example that you see here in front of you. Finally, when you're ready with your ad hoc analysis, or you've been working with the data, you prepared it the way it needs to be, you can of course continue to work within Peliqan to see the data, but you can also share it in any BI tool. So you could send it downstream to any BI tool that is in use within the company. You could also make your virtual tables available to other team members so they can work in a spreadsheet environment with the data and make their own changes if needed. And you can also build data apps to actually make data available within different teams in your company in a controlled manner. Okay, so let's quickly dive into a demo. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a few sources. So you can see that I already connected Jira, a MySQL database, Snowflake, and now what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to add our CRM, which is HubSpot. It could also be Salesforce. And I'm actually going to make a SaaS connection. You can choose between two types of SaaS connections. One is actually real time, and the other one will make a copy. It will sync the data into a built-in data warehouse in Peliqan, which is the optimal solution if you have a large amount of data. But you can combine it with real-time access for example, sampling of the data, or if you have smaller tables. So I'm actually going to make a connection to HubSpot. I need my API key for that. Here it is. I'm going to add that to my production data. And so now Peliqan is scanning my HubSpot instance, and it found in this example two tables. One is with contacts and one is with companies, which are my customers. And here you can see the real-time data within HubSpot. Now I can easily add my own columns here. I could say, for example, I need to add a category to my customers. I have different types of columns that I can add, but I'll do a single select, and I will work with VIP customers, normal customers, and maybe some old customers. Let's change the colors a little bit. All right, so I added my own column here, and remember, this is my own virtual copy of the data. So when new customers are added in HubSpot or they get updated, I will always see the latest data in here, but still I can add my own data without actually making any change to HubSpot itself. Okay, so that data is now available. I can also have a look at other tables within HubSpot, and so when I come back one day or 1 week later, my own changes to the data will always be available. I can also edit the data if I see something that's wrong. And same as before, this is actually now updated in my own virtual copy of the data, because we assume that we have read-only access to the source. In a similar manner, I can access data from Snowflake, from MySQL databases, and I can even add my own internal tables here. If I have something that I want to track, like, I don't know, my to-dos, I can simply add a table, and I can even link that to other tables that I have from any source within Peliqan. Okay, so we have the data, and now typically what you want to do is you want to join data. So I can join, for example, my HubSpot data with my Jira data, because I want to do a quick analysis on my customers and how much support tickets they create in Jira, or how much internal work we have for each of these customers. So I'm going to do a join table. I'm actually going to do a left join with data from HubSpot. Here are my companies, and I'm going to use Jira data, and for that I'm going to have a look at all the issues that we have, or the tickets. I'm going to match by company name. The company name is also used in the tickets, but I could also do a fuzzy join, or I could apply a transformation before I actually join the data. And then what I want to see is just some basic information from HubSpot, and also some information from Jira. Okay, and now I can simply run my query in real time. And here I see a combination of my HubSpot customers with some of their Jira tickets, if there is any information. So you can do different types of joins, and you can even do a fuzzy join. This is great when, for example, the customer name is not identical in HubSpot and Jira. You're still able to join that data. As I said before, you can also write your own queries when you're a power user. So let's quickly create a new query. And I can now access all the data that I have connected. So again, let's just have a quick look at HubSpot. I'm filtering here. It will show me all the data that's available. And I'm actually going to look at my contacts. So let's turn that into an actual query. Select star from HubSpot, and I can now just run my query, and I see the data in real time. Of course, I can apply transformation here. I could, I don't know, maybe trim some data. I could make joins. So basically anything that needs to happen to the data, I can do it here. And the result becomes a new table. So other users that want to access my my query will just see a table in a spreadsheet, and they can start working with it at their own columns, make some changes, apply formulas, and do all the things that they need to do. That's it for a very quick demo of Peliqan. If you want to learn more, please visit our website at peliqan.io, and Peliqan is with a Q. Thank you. Bye.